So I just watched Obsession, which is the latest horror film to be deemed the scariest movie of the year. And this movie follows a character named Bear. He has a crush on his coworker named Nikki, and he makes this wish from this one wish Willow, which says that he just wants her to be in love with him and to think he's great and all this stuff. Well, does he know this wish backfires, and it turns out that it's one of those classic tales of better watch out what you wish for. And with a premise like that, it's cool. Like it's a good premise. It's just it's been done 100 times before, and it's one of those to where like there's not much new you could say with a premise like that. Like there's some stuff, but there's not a lot. Here's the deal with this movie. It starts off extremely slow, and it just builds and builds and builds, and that's why most people are calling it the scariest movie of the year. Something similar had this tone was, well, undertone, and I thought that movie was incredibly scary. Do I think this movie's scary per se? Not really. It's built up and it's suspense and it's very suspenseful and it's a good thriller for the little bit of it until it eventually builds into being a really fun horror movie, and that's what I really liked about this. Is it's nothing like super like insanely what's the word? I don't want to say special because it is special. It's not like anything too original for the first little bit. But the more and more it builds, the more and more you get to know these characters, it becomes very suspenseful, like I said. And you start to really like them. I mean, you got Baroness, who is clearly not a great person. And then you got the character like Nikki, who is our antagonist of the movie, essentially. And she is incredibly good in this movie. She gives a very good performance. And a performance that would be very hard to give. I would like put her on the same scale as somebody like Mia Goth did in Pearl, where that was a very hard performance to do and to get right. Here, yeah, no, she gets it right. She does a very good job here because it's a person that's being told that they're in love with somebody against their will. Like they're completely, well, no pun intended, obsessed with this person, and they don't know why. And it makes for a very scary performance by her. And I feel like she does a very good job. Now, the other supporting actors here, they're very good as well, but she is kind of your scene stealer in this movie, and she is the performance you're going to go home with being like, damn, that was great. And there's a lot of people saying this is one of the best horror films of the year. I do feel like it's one of the best. It is definitely very, very good. It's just, they're hyping it up for you guys. And it's a great movie. It is a good, good, suspenseful horror movie. Is it like the scariest one of the year? No, I feel like Undertone, in my opinion, was much more scarier. And this doesn't even rank as like my favorite horror film of the year so far. I mean, I really liked Undertone and I really liked Faces of Death, even though it was more satirical. So those rank a little bit above this one, but I still really enjoyed this movie. It is being very hyped on Twitter right now. By the time you get to the end of this movie, you will know why it's being hyped because the ending is that good. But that first little bit, it does take a minute to get going, but it's mainly there just to build tension, to build suspense, to where once we finally do pay off some really big things, it's very good. And the movie gets very gory too, which I was actually very surprised about because I wasn't really expecting that from this movie. And this is from a first-time director too, of Clive Barker, and I feel like he's going places. I mean, clearly he's gonna be making a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, so I feel like he is going to be making some really fun movies, and I thought this was great. I mean, he was a YouTuber turned filmmaker. Like, I always enjoy those kind of stories, especially within the movie sphere nowadays, because it's very hard to break through, and the fact that he was breaking through with just a YouTube channel is very inspiring. But this is a great first directorial debut. I know it sounds like throughout this review I don't love this movie. I really enjoyed it a lot, though. I had a ton of fun with this. It's just not this perfect magnum opus horror film that most people think it is, but it is definitely very, very good. So I will give Obsession about a 9 out of 10.